They say revenge is a dish best served cold. But what happens when you serve it with surgical precision, wrapped in silence, and delivered with a smile? Sometimes the quietest storms leave the deepest scars. The phone rang at exactly 9:15 p.m. My brother Marcus never called this late unless something was wrong. "Where's Elena?" he asked, his voice carrying that careful tone that meant trouble. I glanced at the empty wine glass on our marble countertop. "Business conference in Miami until Friday," I replied. The silence stretched between us like a taut wire. Then came the words that would change everything. "She's here, Nathan. At my resort in Maui, room 847. With someone named Trevor Kane. And she's been using your platinum card like it's Monopoly money." I should have felt my world crumble. Instead, I felt something else entirely: clarity. The missing pieces of our 8-year marriage suddenly formed a perfect, devastating picture. We'd met at a charity gala in downtown Chicago. Elena Martinez was magnetic, a corporate lawyer with eyes like dark honey and a laugh that could light up a room. She called me her steady harbor, while she was my wild ocean. But harbors don't move, and oceans eventually find other shores. The signs had been there for months. Business trips that extended without explanation. Phone calls taken in the bathroom. Credit card charges from restaurants I'd never been to. The expensive perfume I didn't buy her. The new silk lingerie hidden in the back of her closet. I'd watched it all unfold with the patience of a chess master, waiting for the perfect moment to make my move. Marcus owned the Sunset Paradise Resort on Maui's North Shore. We weren't close anymore. Old family wounds never fully heal, but blood runs deeper than resentment. "The guy she's with," Marcus continued. "He's married too. I saw his wedding ring when he signed the register. Want me to kick them out?" I smiled in the darkness of our empty house. "No, actually I need a favor. Can you upgrade them to the penthouse suite?" My plan was surgical. While Elena thought she was living her secret paradise, I was orchestrating her downfall from 3,000 miles away. I froze our joint accounts, leaving just enough for basic necessities, a gentle reminder that her freedom came with a price. I hired a private investigator to document everything. Photos, timestamps, receipts, witness statements. Every stolen kiss would cost her dearly. The penthouse suite at Marcus's resort came with hidden surveillance cameras, a security feature Elena had no idea existed. Through my phone, I watched her parade around in the silk nightgown I'd given her for our anniversary, feeding strawberries to Trevor Kane, the same married pharmaceutical executive who'd been mentoring her for the past 6 months. She looked radiant, carefree, like she'd finally found her true self. It would be the last time she'd ever look that happy. I flew to Maui Thursday morning, landed at noon, and went straight to the resort. But I didn't confront her. Instead, I sat in the oceanfront restaurant, ordered the most expensive scotch on the menu, and compiled my evidence. Bank statements showing her spending patterns. Hotel records from previous business trips. Screenshots of her location services placing her everywhere except where she claimed to be. And the crown jewel, the prenuptial agreement she'd forgotten she signed, with its ironclad infidelity clause circled in red. At 7 a.m. Friday, I had the concierge deliver a manila envelope to their breakfast table. Inside was everything: photos, financial records, legal documents, and a single note. "Checkout is at 11 a.m. Don't be late. Your loving husband." I watched from the lobby as Elena opened the envelope. The blood drained from her face in real time. Trevor grabbed the photos, started shouting, and stormed out within minutes. By 7:30 a.m., he was in the parking lot, throwing his suitcase into a rental car and speeding away. Elena was left standing on the balcony in her silk robe, holding the papers that would destroy her life, finally understanding that paradise always comes with a price. My phone buzzed constantly. 47 missed calls. Text messages that evolved from confusion to desperation to rage. "Nathan, please call me. This isn't what it looks like. You're ruining everything. How could you freeze my cards? I'm stranded. But I'd already said everything I needed to say. Silence, I'd learned, was the loudest statement of all. When Elena finally found me in the hotel restaurant that afternoon, she looked broken. Mascara streaked down her cheeks, designer clothes wrinkled. Her perfect facade finally cracked. "Nathan," she whispered, reaching for my hand. Pulled it away. "I can explain everything. Trevor means nothing. You're the only man I've ever truly loved." I took a slow sip of my coffee and looked her directly in the eyes. "The funny thing is," I said calmly, "you always worried I'd leave you for someone else. But I stayed faithful. Even when you decided not to." She tried to argue, to justify, to bargain. But words become meaningless when backed by evidence. I stood up, left cash on the table, and walked toward the exit. "Nathan, please," she called after me. I turned back once. "Elena, you chose a vacation fling over 8 years of marriage. You made your bed. Now sleep in it. Alone." The divorce proceedings were swift and merciless. With the prenuptial agreement's infidelity clause, Elena received nothing. No house, no alimony, no shared assets. Her lawyer tried to contest it, claiming emotional distress and financial hardship. My lawyer simply presented the evidence. Case closed. 6 months later, I heard through mutual friends that Trevor had returned to his wife, who'd welcomed him back after he begged forgiveness. Elena, meanwhile, had moved back with her parents, working as a junior associate at a small firm, driving her old college Honda, living paycheck to paycheck. The woman who once owned designer handbags and vacationed in 5-star resorts now clips coupons and shops at thrift stores. As for me, I kept our house, invested Elena's would-be settlement money, and started dating again. Life has a way of rewarding patience. I sleep soundly now, alone but not lonely, knowing that sometimes the best revenge isn't dramatic confrontation or explosive arguments. Sometimes it's simply letting people face the natural consequences of their choices. Elena never called again after the final court ruling. But sometimes on quiet Sunday mornings, I think about that moment on the hotel balcony when she realized her paradise was actually purgatory. I'd given her everything she thought she wanted. Freedom, excitement, a chance to fly without an anchor. She just forgot that without an anchor, ships eventually drift out to sea and disappear forever. The storm passed. The harbor remained. And sometimes that's victory enough.